where do I begin? You can go about your life with a plan, and then God just kind of takes that plan and kind of revises it, and you end up on a completely different path. But you end up finding out that path is actually where you're supposed to be. So this time last year, I would have not envisioned I would be sitting here making this video. So I'm sure everyone has noticed that there's just been a huge halt on all things Rockin' Our Ranch, my training and everything. And it's for a good reason. Rockin' Our Ranch is no more. So without going into too much detail, I am no longer married. I am pursuing what God has called me to do, and there's just going to be a lot of new strides happening on all social media platforms, in my business, and in myself as well. So you may be wondering where I'm at now, for those who followed me since 2013, 2012. I'm actually now living in Maryville, Tennessee, near Knoxville. And let me tell you what, God has He's really shown me that what I do with rescue horses is how He works with me. And I have preached about that for years and for years, but I have not truly understood that until this past year. And I want to go ahead and share that with you guys. What I always do with rescue horses is I analyze where they are mentally. And I'm a firm believer that with horses specifically, when they get abused or neglected, they take a brick from that season and that situation. And that brick gets built up into a wall, brick by brick. And soon it blocks people out from getting too close. And it's quite ironic how Stella, that mare, she has really... She's really been the one to give me my strength back and help me take down that brick wall in my own life. So, and get me here. So when I was working with Stella, I was like, I know that you've been hurt. I know that you've put your trust in someone, and they completely wrecked it. And there were times where I'm sure Stella felt like, if you've seen her, you would see that she was so broken. So broken. Not only did she build a wall, but she was just so mentally unstable from it. And it's ironic how God brought that mare into my life when He did, because it was such a traumatic season of my own. And through Stella, I found the strength to not build up a wall. Instead, I used those bricks that were given to me to build a wall around the fire that's burning inside of me. Because I refuse to give up. And I refuse to allow what's around me to consume me. And that's all because God worked through that mare. And I owe that mare everything. So I guess this is a great time to also announce that I am officially the owner of Stella. I want to see what she's capable of, and I want to see her through. Ashley's still going to be a huge part of it. Her and I've chatted. So we're having joint custody. Anyhow, you need to open up your heart when working with horses, because there's some serious life lessons that you can learn. And God will open up doors through horses. I'm a firm believer in that. And boy, did he open up one with Stella. My biggest passion is rescue horses, because I feel such a understanding with them and a connection with these rescue horses, because I personally know what it's like to be beaten down and to be made to feel like you are worthless and not wanted. But I also know what it's like to be made to feel the complete opposite of that, that I am worthy, that I am loved, and that I am wanted. So all of that was because of horses. They have really shown me that. I was bullied in high school, at the end of middle school, beginning of high school, and it wasn't just name calling. I was physically bullied. I was put in a chokehold in the middle of class. It wrecked me, okay? But because of horses, I found who I was. I was stronger. I remember, because I was bullied, I became friends with not the greatest group of kids, and there was a situation that really shook me. And then the next day I went out to the barn where I had my mare Ray, and the first time ever she just didn't follow me. The first time ever she just ran away, and I was real mad. And I remember being out there with the halter and grain, and I was like, what? You kidding me? And I remember yelling, Ray, stop following the herd and start following me. And I felt God just, Rikki, stop following the crowd, start following me. So that was a huge revelation to me. And that's when God kind of planted that seed in my heart to apply horsemanship and connect that with God's word to help people. But how? The thing about it is, I always tell people, be careful what you pray for, because you just might get it. And I asked God, I told him, I want to help people. I want to help kids who've been bullied in school, and I want to help them overcome through horses. Guess what happened? I said, I want to work with women who have been hurt in the past relationships. Guess what happened? And I'm thankful for it all, but at the same time, I kind of wish I just said, Lord, I kind of wish for $1 million, but I wouldn't have grown that way. So I know what it's like for these horses, and that's why my passion is so strong for these horses, because I want to see these horses through. I want to show them that they are strong enough to overcome their past, because I personally know it's not easy, but you can't do it alone. Once I gave everything to God, I was introduced to a position that I thought was a joke because it was everything I could ever want. I actually took a position at Horse Haven of Tennessee as the new equine manager. And if you're not familiar with Horse Haven, I suggest you look it up. I'll have the link at the very end of this video and in the post. And this is actually the organization that I was under with working with Stella. Stella is a Horse Haven horse, and she's the face of it, basically. And working with Stella, I was able to see the true heart and horsemanship and passion Horse Haven had. And I told Ashley when she came out to visit Stella, I was like, you're the only rescue I've ever worked with that I have seen to come 4 hours away just to see her, just to love on her, just to talk with me about her future. I have never seen such a passionate rescue in my entire life. So when I was offered this job, especially in this season of my life where I thought I was done, honestly, it was, I cried. I remember coming out in the living room to my parents and just like started crying. I was like, you guys. And it was a lot to take in, it still is. And so I took that job and started February 12th. And with that, I actually moved to Maryville. And I'm now currently leasing a gorgeous little facility with about 5 turnout paddocks, perfect for the amount of horses I have. I have a 5-stall barn connected to an indoor arena and my own apartment attached. This facility is not just the perfect way for me to get started all over again, but with experience this time, but for me to begin what I'm called to do. And I'm so ready to share that with you guys. Rdemption Ranch is my new mission, and it's where we will be rehabilitating horses while providing professional horsemanship to these horses, but also in a way to help local school systems work with the kids who are getting bullied. I want to specify working with these children and even high schoolers that there is hope, that you're wanted, and that you're needed. So these kids are going to help me work with these horses I have here, and who knows, I might take on a few foster horses. And I want to allow these kids to learn what discipline is, compassion, and an understanding to healing. Because through these horses, they can be healed as well. I also have a phenomenal opportunity to work with someone to work with domestic violence as well as veterans. So this is going to be so exciting for me because this is what I've always wanted to do. And what's going to make us different is we're going to be on a smaller scale. We're not going to be a 50 horse type deal and over 500 volunteers and all that. This is going to be specified to matching people with a horse. My ultimate goal is to have these kids find what these horses are good at, whether it be jumping, working cows, roping, barrels. And I want to be able to take those kids and that horse to go compete. Because competition brings discipline. All right, those kids are going to have to be out here working with that horse. They're going to have to hit point A, point B, point C, all the way to get to the finish line. And through that, they're going to learn that failure is a part of life, but it's how you fail is what's important. We live in such a coddled world that the word failure is such a bad word, and it's not. And then when these kids go out in the real world, they get, dumped by their girlfriend, or they get told no from a job, and it's just the end of the world. Well, they can learn how to handle failure, learn how to handle no's from a horse, because we all know a horse can say no. They can learn how to handle those situations to take it on past the arena. So Rdemption Ranch is what it's all about now, because not only is it redemption for these horses, for these kids, but I feel like in a weird way it's for me as well. And I have been kind of on this roller coaster the past, over 11 years now, of ranch management, farmhand, trainer, assistant trainer, intern, all this, everything, owning my own facilities, to learn from each season. And my dad always says it perfectly, because I always say God knows who I am because he created me. He knows how stubborn I am. And when I'm comfortable and I don't want to give up on a situation, I will fight it tooth and nail. I refuse to give up. And it takes God to literally push me out to go to the next season. And that he does. And my dad says that every season God puts me in, he's teaching me a lesson every single season to get to where I'm supposed to be. And this is where I'm supposed to be. Maryville is where I'm supposed to be. Horse Haven is where I'm supposed to be. Here, sitting in my indoor arena, Rdemption Ranch is where I'm supposed to be. So thank you guys so much for your encouragement. Thank you for respecting my personal life, because this is not an easy video to make, but at the same time, it is an extremely rewarding one. And I just ask that you continue to support my journey, continue to support these horses, and stay tuned, because I'm hoping in the next few months we will be kicking off and really being able to make a change and a difference around here with these horses. So glory to God, and on to new beginnings. And I'm so ready to be able to use what God has given me for His glory and to help others around. So thank you guys so much. God bless.